We just got some of the biggest updates yet on what this offseason is going to really look like for this Miami Heat organization, and one of the biggest options this entire offseason for not only the Miami Heat, but the entirety of the NBA in Kevin Durant. I'm going to break down all of the major updates that we have, specifically referring to the Miami Heat and their chances of landing the multiple-time MVP, the multiple-time scoring champion, Kevin Durant. We'll break down all of that on this episode of Heat Digest. But first, please do remember to scroll down and smash that subscribe button if you're a part of the near 80% currently watching this video not currently subscribed to the channel. We do appreciate the love and support, so thank you guys for everything. But now let's get to it and break down more KD updates, as there have been a lot of them up to this point in the year, from if we're referring to previous off seasons, previous trade deadlines. Kevin Durant has been in connections to this Miami Heat team, like various other stars, for multiple seasons. And now it seems like there is a legitimate chance this is the offseason. This is the moment for the Miami Heat to go out there and actually acquire Kevin Durant. It seems unlikely, it seems like craziness, and it just seems like just a figment of our imagination, as year after year the Miami Heat are connected to big name fish after big name fish, and despite the connections, nothing actually ends up happening, and there's no big pairing. This year, it really feels concrete. Like there's a legitimate chance the Miami Heat, Pat Riley, Eric Spoelstra, Mickey Arison, and the rest of this Miami Heat organization can go out there and make one of the biggest splashes of this offseason early and with Kevin Durant. It would be one of the biggest moves in recent history for this Miami Heat team, and it would just propel them forward. Now, what updates do we have that make us think this? Well, we'll start with this tweet from NBA on ESPN, and I will say two of the quotes that we're going to be citing on this channel that give us the idea that this could happen very, very soon is from the Pat McAfee show. Pat McAfee, you're killing it. There's no way around it. And he had Shams as well as UD on the show today, and they broke down really everything NBA, not only specifically to the Miami Heat, but all of the NBA. Obviously, Shams breaking down all of the trade conversations, all of the big free agency fish this offseason that could be available, that are available this offseason for all teams involved, as well as then Udonis Haslem, specifically speaking on this Miami Heat team. So we're going to start with Shams and what his quote was that makes us think this. He goes on to say, quote, "The focus of the Suns conversation has been on a few of the teams, and here they are: the Houston Rockets, the Miami Heat, and the Minnesota Timberwolves." And that is the end of the quote from Shams. Now, it's huge. The Heat are basically labeled as one of the final three teams involved in Kevin Durant. Now, am I a bit early saying the final three teams? Yes. But here is why I label it that way. It is... Oh, I'm not going to have it. Well, apparently he's going to be available in the next week or so. I thought I had the picture here. I can't believe I don't have it. I messed up. But reports are that Kevin Durant could be available in the next week. And now on the last episode of Heat Digest, where we broke down conversations about Kevin Durant and the likelihood of him landing with Miami, we broke down reports that it seems like he'll be traded before the NBA draft. Now, brand new reports suggest he could be traded in the next 7 days. As soon as the next week coming, Kevin Durant could be on a new team with a new organization, and the Miami Heat, based off this quote from Shams, are one of the top three teams available to go out there and acquire Kevin Durant. Now, followed up by Shams, sitting just a few seats down from Shams to Shams' left, our right, looking at it on the screen, was none other than Udonis Haslem. One of the pride pieces of this Miami Heat organization, not just of right now, but as of for the last 2 decades. For the last 20 plus years, Udonis Haslem has been a piece, a part, and a legitimate factor to this Miami Heat organization. Whether it's been on the floor, in the locker room, it doesn't matter. UD has played a substantial factor for one reason or another. As a player, as a coach, as a role model, it does not matter. You fill in the blank, and UD has been and has served his purpose extremely well and has surpassed that in his tenure involved with this Heat organization. Now, he would go on to say that it was a bit of a recruiting pitch. That's how Heat culture really labeled it here, but he was very hesitant because he claimed, and he stated, I should say, he's still a part of the Miami Heat organization as a piece of the coaching staff in the sense of player development, and he doesn't want to lose his job. So he's not going to open his mouth. But he loves the idea of Kevin Durant coming to Miami for multiple reasons. UD would go on to say that Eric Spoelstra and Pat Riley are key pieces to this Heat organization. And with doing that, he doesn't have to be the leader in Kevin Durant, that is. Kevin Durant doesn't have to be the leader when he comes to Miami. Not because he doesn't have to be the top dog, doesn't have to be the top alpha, but because he's going to be coached by Eric Spoelstra. He's going to be involved in an organization led by Pat Riley and Mickey Arison. This organization has obviously established a culture that doesn't matter who you are. Once you are brought into that culture, if it doesn't fit you, you're going out the door relatively soon. Jimmy Butler. The point is the same. Durant, Butler, doesn't matter. If you come in and it doesn't work, you're on the way out. Now, we're obviously all hoping if Durant is acquired by this Miami Heat team for whatever package is then sent in return, we all hope it works, obviously. But again, there is a blemish. He is 37 years old. Yes, he is going into a contract year. It'll be the final year of the deal he is currently on. So the Miami Heat are only going to have 1 year of space and really just a 1 year lean on Kevin Durant, if you will, until once again you have to either repay him to bring him back in, or he is going to once again hit the open market where he'll be a free agent and a bidding war will commence to hope to bring in the goods of Kevin Durant. Now, that is a long way away, whether or not the Miami Heat go out and acquire him. And when they do, they could obviously extend him the second they go out and sign him, which could result in a different conversation following this. But with Udonis Haslem's quotes and his pitch to Kevin Durant, as well as really just the quotes from Shams, it seems like the Miami Heat are in a great position. And in doing so, you may be asking yourself, what may the trade package actually look like in return to the Phoenix Suns if this trade actually does take place? Well, I'm here to say that it seems like, based off this quote from 5 Reasons Sports on Twitter, which is being cited from NBA Central on Twitter, that Kel'el Ware and the Miami Heat, or I should say this, as the Miami Heat are hesitant to include Kel'el Ware in any trade packages for really anyone, including Kevin Durant, which I absolutely love, and I hope you guys do as well, because this is genius. Not giving up someone like Kel'el Ware is... It's perfect. It's the correct play by this Miami Heat organization. What we watched and witnessed from Kel'el Ware in a rookie season where he wasn't playing a fixed amount of minutes. It was spotty. He was in and out of the lineup. He was filling in for Bam. He was playing the 5. He was playing the 4. He was fitting in this lineup. It was a lot of give and take with Kel'el Ware. And it was a learning experience the entire time as he was a rookie. And despite that, everyone has a lot of optimism and a lot of respect for the game he presents and overall maintains. But the Miami Heat, knowing that what they have and not wanting to move him, and regardless of whether or not Durant is on the other side of that phone call or not, I absolutely love and I really appreciate the Miami Heat not only understanding, or I should rephrase this as, I respect the Miami Heat for being able to draft as well as they have and understanding once they draft these guys, how valuable they actually are and can be later down the line for this Miami Heat organization. I'm excited to see how this all plays out. I will say the idea that is circling Twitter currently and a lot of the social media around this trade is the idea that it will be a 3-team trade involving Phoenix, Brooklyn, and the Miami Heat, where obviously Miami would land Kevin Durant. Brooklyn would then get Nikola Jovic, Duncan Robinson, and a Miami 2025 first-round pick. And then the Phoenix Suns in return would get Andrew Wiggins and Nick Claxton from the Brooklyn Nets. A very intriguing trade, something that I think the Miami Heat would do very well in actually getting rid of Duncan's contract, as well as moving someone like Jovic, who has been young, but he's been very spotty, and while also getting a great return in Kevin Durant. Let me know down below what you guys think and your overall thoughts and opinions are on this trade as it currently sits, and really if this 3-team trade is a good opinion or idea, and if you would enjoy the actual trade for Kevin Durant if it only did involve players like Wiggins as well as Jovic. And I'll see you guys on the next episode of Heat Digest.